Hello and welcome to the What Northern Ireland Means to Me podcast, presented by me, Julia Paul. This series has been produced by Shared Future News to mark the centenary of Northern Ireland and is funded by the Heritage Fund on behalf of the Northern Ireland Office. Shared Future News provides information and personal stories on the topics of peace building, reconciliation and diversity to a Northern Ireland audience and beyond. In this episode, we meet Darren Ferguson, the founder of Beyond Skin, an organisation which uses arts to help develop a society free from racism and sectarianism. He tells us what Northern Ireland means to him.
For me, Belfast, Northern Ireland, Belfast is a music city and Northern Ireland is a global jukebox. Music and sound is in our DNA, and no matter where you're from, if you've made Northern Ireland your home, we seem to have some kind of magic that just makes music happen and brings people together through music. Beyond Skin, we've been going for 17 years. I set the organisation up, influenced by Peter Gabriel, what he was doing with music, and Knitting Sawney, and another project called One Giant Leap. And in a nutshell, we're enabling the arts to deal with things like racism, sectarianism, and help people find out a bit more about their sense of belonging and how they connect and relate to their global neighbours. It's actually very, very different from when we first started 17 years ago. I think when we first used the arts in peace building, good relations, it wasn't really valued. I mean, it's still not valued the way it should be, but we've moved on a bit. It was seen a bit of a gimmick, an entertainment way, but didn't really deal with the issues. Whereas now, I think people are realising the value and impact of the arts, especially music, because music and sound are also blurred lines. So, how people relate to each other, how people relate to their own environment is sound. I had this conversation the other day with somebody saying, that West Belfast has a different sound than other parts of the city because the black taxis mostly service that part of the city. So there's those big diesel black taxis shaping that sound environment there. So we've been doing a lot around music and sound, but arts in general, giving people access to learn about different cultures and about themselves, and also to bring communities together. Now there's a lot of research on the effect of music and sound on the brain regarding kind of the spirit of togetherness and in healing as well. And there's the famous story of when we took a lot of marching bands into the Black Box music venue in Belfast. The Protestant marching bands obviously reflecting the Protestant culture. There is marching bands from the national side, but I think Catholic, Irish culture, people are really familiar with the Irish traditional music, the Celtic music. They were performing there with musicians from different parts of the world and some female musicians, because there are women involved in marching bands, but it's mostly a very male-dominated space. And this gentleman came up to me at the end and said, "This is amazing what you've just done there." And I said, "Well, what's so amazing about taking musicians into a music venue? We've just got to shine a light on the value they bring to society, and again, it's part of our music soundtrack." I'm very proud of saying I come from Northern Ireland. We do have our issues, which are massive, but on a beautiful canvas, we're a really beautiful part of the world. We're quite small in population, so there is a sense of community, although communities may be divided. And generally, I think people are kind, because when we have people come over to visit, they always compliment us of how kind and how welcoming Northern Ireland is. Northern Ireland is home for me, and I want it to be home for other people as well.
What Northern Ireland Means to Me is produced by Shared Future News. Our staff include Alan Leonard, Alan Maben and Julia Paul. Our theme song is Figure in the Fog by Jordan McMurray, with thanks to Music Paths. This and other episodes with transcripts are available at the Shared Future News website, sharedfuture.news. You can also follow us on Facebook at Shared Future News and Twitter at Shared Future. If you would like to suggest someone for a future episode of What Northern Ireland Means to Me, please email us at editor@sharedfuture.news. Thanks for listening.